Have you ever wanted to know what I use to farm Paragon with every season? So I play hardcore and I play solo, and I farm my own Paragon, and we do get tons of questions about this all the time. So I thought I'd make a video just basically showcasing my favorite builds, not necessarily like all the builds. This is not a tier list or anything like that. This is just what I would do, what Blood would do, WWBD, to farm Paragon in each specific class. Okay, so the links will be in the description of the video. We have 7 classes to get through, so I'm going to power through it. This is by no means like a video guide on each class. I'm just going to kind of touch on everything. Always remember, you can check the description. You can check the website, bloodshed.com, and all my builds are on the website. So like if you were to go to the GR speed builds, which we're talking about today, for 100 plus, I use Heaven's Fury, which we're going to showcase in the video. For 70.99, I love Fist of Heavens, right? You can use these other builds. I have level ranges on what I would do, but again, everything is capable of more or less or whatever, depending on effort and different builds. So let's just get into it, right? We got a lot to cover. All right, the AoV Aegis of Valor, Heaven's Fury Crusader. So yeah, I use Fist of Heavens up to 99, and then once I get into the hundreds, I swap to Heaven's Fury. I like to throw on Engiom in this build, so when I kill an elite pack, I get tons of mobility. We are an elite hunting build after all. You can still kill density, but yeah, you just want to go from elite pack to elite pack and blow them up. The Shield of Fury did get nerfed to 10 stacks this season. It used to be 20 in season 20, and now it's 10 in season 21. But I mean, it's still a monster. It's still the group Rift Guardian killer. It still just destroys elites, especially at low levels. I even did a 105 in the video just because it's really good at what it does, and that's hunting down and blasting elites, right? So yeah, you want to stack a lot of movement speed and cooldown and all that stuff, and you really won't have any issues with this. But if you're playing Crusader, if you're playing Rift Guardian Killer, you'll be pleasantly surprised this season. It's still a beast, and nothing's changed. That S tier god. Speaking of S tier gods, we have the Whirlwind Barbarian. Now BARB is really fun to speed with because you can use like your Volcathos weapons, you can go Echoing Fury Ambos, Slander Little Rogue, lots of different combos that you can slot in with Whirlwind. So the variation in the description is the one that I'm running. I like Echoing Fury and Ambos for most of the builds, but I do use BK up into about GR 100 or so. So like I said, lots of different little variations. Whirlwind's still a beast. Whirlwind didn't get nerfed or buffed whatsoever, so it still retains all that power. One thing that we're using is Focus and Restraint and Messerschmitt. So we're hitting really hard, and we're getting Perma Wrath the Berserker with Messerschmitt in the cube. So that's pretty cool stuff. Same thing like Seder, we're rocking that Flavor of Time for those pylons. With that double pylons, you pretty much will have your multiple pylons up for speeds. You might have like 2 or 3 pylons going every speed run because of how fast you're progressing, how fast you're killing, and then your pylon duration is doubled with the Flavor of Time. So it's pretty cool overall. Another god build on the tier list. You can see a theme here, right? A lot of these builds are like the strongest builds in the game, a lot of times modified for like low level speeds. So this is the God Demon Hunter build. With the Vala Bequest, it is proccing pierces like crazy. So it's actually turned into a mostly full strafe build for pushing and for speeds now. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. You basically just want to be in strafe instead of getting out of strafe to use Hungering Arrow net these days. And yeah, we're just flying through the rift. It's shooting out tons of pierces with Hungering Arrow. I'm still using Fan of Knives to keep up my survivability, Numbing Traps passive to give us more survivability as we're just flying through the mobs. Same deal, Flavor of Time, Nemesis Bracers, like a staple of these like low level speeds. Well, they're not low level, but 100 speeds anyway. Ambush, hitting really hard on that initial burst. And yeah, I mean, you can't even use, right now I'm using Elusive Ring, especially for someone like me who plays hardcore, but you could drop Elusive Ring and go Convention of Elements to get those even bigger damage spikes. Another S tier god build, the LoD Meleemancer / LoD Poison Scythe build, right? You're swinging your scythe, just swinging away. Anyway, we're dropping 1 Nair stack to get the ability to use Blood Rush. That way we can move around the map a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. And all you have to do is stun elites with your Dislocation and crush them. If you can land it on Poison Cycle, even better. Again, we're like a melee generator build, and you really don't have to do anything but keep up your 4 Nair stacks in the speed build and swing your scythe, and you're pretty much good to go. Now, this is a LoD build, so you're going to need full ancients if possible, at least for late season farming. And again, I don't know if I covered it in the beginning of the video, but everything was tested with around 10,000 main stat, 800 Paragon. So I try to keep everything. You know, I have multiple characters and they all have various gear, ancients or better gear than others. Some are augmented. So I try to make them all around 10,000 main stat, which is not hard to do at all. That's just like 800 Paragon and a few augments on your character, and you can get to 10K main stat. So bear that in mind. And the gem levels were around 100 to 110 also, with all the testing. Here is a build that pleasantly surprised me and a lot of people on stream. So the Hydra build hits like a truck. It's a monster, right? I think because last season it came out with Mundanugu and AoV Crusader, we didn't realize that it was a good build or a decent build. It's pretty solid. It's A tier, strong. It's really surprised me for 100 speeds. I think because of the gap between the other 2 sets, we just thought it was trash basically. But you know, once the dust settles and the smoke clears, Hydra is still like a force out here. You know, it's still doing work. As you can see, we get a lot of the popular things like the Nemesis bracers. We have good mobility with teleport, and then there's a passive called Illusionist. When you get hit for a certain amount of damage, it reduces the cooldown of teleport. So we're getting to move around a lot. We're getting bonus movement speed when we're teleporting. We have a lot of shields. Yeah, all you pretty much do is drop down your Hydras, group them up with Black Hole, and then hold down Arcane Torrent. So on the surface, it's a little passive because it's a channeling build and you have to set up your Hydras, right? So it's kind of like a lot of work compared to the other builds, but you can see by the progression, it's still really fast and it's kind of a beast. So if you haven't played Wizard, all 5 of you guys out there that are going to play Wizard next season, you'll enjoy it. It's a really, really solid Paragon farmer. So yeah, have fun with that. Like Crusader, Witch Doctor got nerfed. You can't use pet items with Mundanugu anymore. So yeah, like the cube we used to use like a Mask of Jaram. Now I'm using Frosties. We can't use the Enforcer gem. Now I'm using a Zaystone of Vengeance. But again, like Crusader, it was a God tier build. Now it dropped down to the S tier. S tier is still one of the best builds in the game. The Spirit Barrage dock is the best way to farm Paragon, in my opinion. It just crushes everything. It's a really good build. Similar to the Hydra, you're using Brrandon to group them up, and you're just dotting them with Locust Swarm and holding down Spirit Barrage, and then you're just melting enemies as you go. The cool thing about Spirit Walk, it has 100% movement speed to it with Severance. And you can dodge a lot of stuff. So like, you know, sometimes there's about to be an explosion and you just want to go in there and get those globes or something. But with Spirit Walk, you can kind of tap it and just fly through the pack and grab it without, you know, taking a death or without proccing your cheat death passive. So if you haven't played this Spirit Barrage build, you didn't really miss the boat. It's still a monster and it does really good wave clear. So you might get some group play out of it. Yeah, pretty awesome overall. And finally on the list, we have the Patterns of Justice Page Monk build. A lot of people ask me, you know, I haven't played Diablo for a year or 2 years. Like, I just want to get back into the game. What should I play, Blood? What's a good build that you think is just pure fun and ownage? And I always tell them, or a lot of the times I tell them, Patterns of Justice Monk. They have Page Monk. It's mobile. You can use it in every facet of the game, you know, for speeds, even group play with the hybrid support build. You know, bounties, T16, you can see we can run hundreds with it really effectively. And it's a little bit more involved too in a way. It's kind of fun, like you hold down one button and you build up your charges in a way, like of Tempest Rush. And then you hit them with Blinding Flash or however you want to stun or freeze them. And you let go. And then you unleash this huge hit of Flurry. It's pretty fun. And I'd recommend it to anybody that's just getting back into the game. I think you'll have fun with any of these builds if you're farming Paragon solo. You'll see me playing pretty much all of these on stream or some variation or some build close to it, right? And again, this is not a complete list. This is just recommendations, what I would do if I was playing any of these classes this season. Shout out to all the patrons that support us. I really appreciate it, man. Again, check out our website, bloodshed.com, for all these builds, and they're going to get tweaked in the future. So you need the updated links for that. You know, make sure to check the site often for the newest stuff. We just had the Demon Hunter go from A tier to S tier. Check the website for all the latest builds and everything. I have a weekly podcast on the website. You can find it, or in the description of the video. We talked about like launch night tips and tricks and all that. I might start uploading the podcast to my channel, but it's been busy. I got a lot going on. This is crunch time. This is busy week for Blood with all the things and everything like that. So anyway, guys, if I don't talk to you, if I don't see you on stream, I'm going to be streaming on launch night like I have been for the last 21 seasons. But if I don't see you, have an incredible season. Have a dope RNG. May RNG be in your favor. And I'm babbling. This is Bloodshed. I'm out of here. Peace.